So, this prop drilling thing is obviously a problem. How do we fix it? Well, luckily, the React world has given us two really solid patterns to solve this exact issue. On one side, we have a technique called lifting state up. This is more of a fundamental pattern, a way of thinking about your component structure. And on the other side, we have the context API, which is a powerful, built-in feature of React that's designed to solve this problem more directly. The trick is knowing when to use which one.
So lifting state up is usually the first thing you should try. The idea is simple. If you have two components that need to share the same piece of state, you find their closest common parent in the component tree. You then move the state from one of the children up to that parent. From there, the parent can just pass the state down as props to both children who need it. Problem solved.
So when should you reach for this pattern? Well, it's perfect when you're just sharing state between a couple of components that are pretty close to each other. You know, when your component tree isn't super deep. It's also great because it keeps your data flow really explicit and easy to follow. You can literally trace the props down the tree. It's clean, simple, and often all you need.
But what happens when lifting state up means lifting it way, way up and you're back to prop drilling again? Well, that's when you bring out the big guns, the context API. The best way to think about context is like a data teleporter. You create a provider at the top of your tree, and then any component, no matter how deep it's nested, can consume that data directly. It just bypasses all those components in the middle.
Yeah, this is your go-to solution for avoiding really bad prop drilling. You want to use this for data that's considered global for a big chunk of your app. Think about things like the current theme, light mode or dark mode, or the currently logged in users data, or maybe the language setting for the whole app. For stuff like that, context is absolutely the right tool for the job. So let's wrap this all up into a simple decision-making guide. Here's the mental model you should have. Rule 1, always start by keeping your state local, right inside the component that needs it, using useState. Rule 2, if siblings need to share that data, lift state up to their closest common parent. And rule 3, only when prop drilling becomes a real problem, when you're passing props through multiple layers that don't need them, then you should reach for the context API. So that leaves us with one final thought. A question for you to take back to your own code. The next time you're starting a new feature and you have to decide how to manage its state, are you going to lift it up or are you going to use context? It's not just a technical question, right? The answer really shapes how clean and maintainable your application is going to be down the road. So